Hey guys, I'm just going to do a coaster discussion because I need a break. I was going to do Roblox, but I was starting a few games and it wasn't going well. So I'm taking a break. I'm going to do a quick little one of these. I don't know how much I'm going to do, but yeah, so let's just start with, this is Fall of Babel. That's what it is. I think I got that wrong last time. I didn't remember what it was last time. I don't know why. But yeah, here it is. Basically, I'm gonna go back and redo all the supports so that they're all custom supports, and that way, like, stuff just looks normal. Because right now it's kind of just this awkward. I'm kind of just piecing things together. I do like the color scheme though. It does kind of represent what I want it to represent. I do love the style of the track. I love the style of track. I don't know what it is about it. It's so different, unique, but it keeps the coaster feel. It's not like a TRX track where it's like completely different. It's just combining two things together. You've got the RMC rails thanks to the Codemaster, and then the Vekoma corkscrew track. That's basically all I did for that. And then you just set the offset so that they match, which is, what was it? I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't want to accidentally do something. But it's like 1 something in meters. I do everything in meters. Right now I have it on feet because I did a small little coaster that I'll show you at some point. It's part of like another coaster discussion. But what's funny is that it works. Because the track is, the wheels would be on top, inside, and bottom, while it is connected like this on the outside, which is like, huh, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. It would actually work if they did this. But yeah, so I just kind of put this thing together. I was like, I want something unique. I'm going to do an RMC that's different. I tried doing these really cool supports. That didn't really work. I'm going to keep like this sort of structure, but I'm just going to kind of make this look better in a sense. But I just decided, let's do a little Joker drop here where it just goes down and it turns, and I was like, yeah, that creates a different feel. I haven't done that before. And then you kind of create this L-shaped kind of coaster. I thought that would be kind of different. I also like how like open this is. It's kind of like a mini King of Kings or Lord of Lords, except puny in comparison. This is, how many feet? I don't remember how many feet this is. Let's have it in feet. It's actually going to be really easy to figure out. Why 130? Yeah. So it's puny in comparison to 420, whatever that is. Then I was like, let's just go straight into a stall. Then I did this wave turn. I was kind of a wave turn, except it actually does curve in to create that 90 degree, which I thought was different. Because again, I'm just kind of doing things differently. This looks a little rough, and some of the turns look rough, like especially this turn. I don't know what happened to this turn. This turn came out really rough. Like that, whatever happened trying to do this hill, I didn't do it very well. I'll probably go back and fix that when I go back and do the supports. Which, if you guys want me to live stream or whatever, I'll record myself doing the supports. But RMCs are actually a little rougher than they appear. Actually, coasters are a little rougher than they appear. Like some of the transitions are actually, especially on the older coasters, which is kind of like, well, that's why nobody likes the older coasters. Yeah, but that kind of gives it that feel that, oh, I'm kind of out of control but in control kind of deal, and I like that. So some of them are a little rough, like especially this turn. I'm gonna straighten this out just a little bit. Probably straighten out this whole section just a little bit, but I like it. I like that part about these rides. And then this barrel turn that I've kind of invented for myself. You can see it looks really cool from here because it's like, whoa, where's the track going? There's no support there, and then it just keeps going straight. I don't know. I've always liked that. I don't think they have that on a coaster. Carmarthen, Wildfire at Carmarthen kind of did it. Not to that extent. Definitely not to Denarius and Joy Park East extent. But yeah, and then I had to figure out this support, which was fun. And then this kind of trick track from Kentucky Kingdom. What is that? Storm Runner. And this is a complete 90-degree turn over the brakes. I thought that would be kind of cool. I was kind of deciding what I wanted to do with this. It was actually just going to turn and end after this turn. But then I was like, no. That's way too short of a ride. I got to extend it. So I just kept going, and then this really, really big off-axis turn. It's just like, it's either going to be off-axis or rough. And I did it in the G-forces. Actually, can I? Yeah. The G-forces are actually, like, they're high. But as you can see, they're not red, so they're not awful. It is an off-axis turn. That's kind of what they do. So I figured that would be just kind of really different and really pushing you on your seat. I thought that would be kind of fun. And then also, there's some this hill is like major airtime hill. And then kind of go around. I was like, well, I need to go around. And for some reason, I couldn't get this turn to tighten any more than that. And I didn't want to change this. I didn't want to make this turn longer than it had to be. I kind of wanted parallel with this guy, so I couldn't put these nodes over here. But it ran, you know, awfully close to the chain lift. So then I had to really mess with the supports. Which, it works. I mean, they're not gonna, like, it's not gonna fall apart or anything. Just gonna freeze it. Freeze it here. There's 3 different coasters. Like, I have the one coaster that uses the trains, the Millennium Flyer trains, and then I have another coaster for the track, and then I have the rails as scenery. That's how I did it. And the track is just track. There's no trains running on it, obviously. Did I? Yeah, except I kept the chain lift on the common track. Anyways, this part actually should have angled beams from like here to here. I think I did that on, because I make it in a file individually and then I import it into this file as a whole park, and I think on the individual file I put the angled braces. I didn't remember to transfer that here. I don't know, but there should be angled braces here just so that it doesn't wiggle all over the place. You know what I mean? You gotta have those triangles. Triangles are excellent. I love them. And then you come down here and then you go into a nice barrel roll, which, if I don't know if you saw on the G-Force come, also has a lot of G's. So you have a lot of right G's, and then you kind of take a break, and then you go around, and then you have some left G's. So I try to make it even, in a sense, so that you're not just constantly going right or constantly going left. You're kind of one and one. Because nowhere else does it have that kind of G-force. Not even like here. It does not have that much lateral G's. It's only these 2 spots. So you have a right and a left, and there you go. Like not even here on this wave turn. It should, right? But it doesn't. But I really do like this corkscrew. I just love this style. I love the way the tracks work. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it so much. I want it to be real. I want it to be made. And then I was like, I'm gonna come up and I was like trying to figure out how to do this, and I was like, well, if it went over this and under that, could I do that? And if I can, that would be sweet. And it did work, and I was like, well, that looks exactly like, not exactly, but it looks like a remnant of Lightning Rod. So I'm trying to like combine different RMC coasters into one coaster and then make it my own, which is how I do every coaster, but this one I really tried. So I love the way it ends. It comes up and then it magnetic breaks down just like lightning rod, and then it actually has the storage, which as you can see is actually become a track. But yeah, like the wave turn and everything, I really do like the way this came out. I really do. Just gotta fix the supports, because you can see this is butt ugly. I don't look at that. What? That's no. I gotta fix that. I gotta make that look more like that, because that's what it's supposed to be. These, again, there's different style supports. You have these are actually inverted suspended coaster. What are they? Not inverted suspended. It's other S. Swinging. Inverted, suspended, swinging, whatever you want to call it. Swinging coaster supports, which is not the right supports to use. And then I just kind of messed with these ground supports that they kind of fit in the area, so I'll have to change that too. But it's a great ride. I really do like it. Let's ride it. I feel like riding it now, because I love it. Something about it. And then I was unsure what kind of cars to use, because I wanted to do something. I wanted to combine, more coasters together. I don't know. I figured there's the new coaster we added last time. I do like it there. It's actually really nice. I think it fits. Yeah, we can just go in order from back here around. We don't have to go through all the most recent coasters. I might just kind of go around. Title is kind of iffy. But I felt like having individual cars, these tailored cars like this, would fit the coaster better. Oh, and I love that sound. The brakes, that when they changed the brake sounds for the wooden coasters, makes me, because I grew up with 3 wooden coasters, because Holiday World was the park that I grew up on, and so just listening to those brakes was like golden. When they changed it to actual brakes, wow, that's really loud. That was just amazing for me. I loved it. I was freaking out to all my friends, like, they changed the brakes, they changed them. See, like, look at that drop. That's a great airtime drop. A little laggy. Upside down for a stall. And oh, I forgot to mention that. I'll talk about that when the ride's over. Let's see, that's actually not a half bad turn. Or not turn, transition. And then I try to get like a good back and forth. This one's like kind of rough. This one's kind of wonky. It's smooth. Like when you're riding it, it'll be smooth. And it'll be a little jerky. It's just like any other RMC or whatever, coaster they have out there. Honestly, it's not horrible. Wow, you can tell, if you're wondering why it's so laggy here but not in the actual point of view video and whatever when I posted it, is actually because when you use the No Limits recorder, the in-game recorder, it renders like every frame or whatever. However it does it, makes it so it's smooth, because it renders everything individually, I think. So again, this is the only transition that's a little wonky, and I would have to change. I don't have to change it, because these are all prototypes. Of course, the prototypes are never on point with the real ones. So if they were to build this in real life, they would already know how to smooth this out and everything. They would actually like super finalize track profiling. But so you get the idea. But I love this thing. It's by far one of my favorite coasters ever. It's really good. Let's go just kind of around. We're gonna go to Faith, the first 500-foot coaster, if it were to be made before the Orlando coaster finishes. But it's the tallest strata. It's not a strata. It's because it's over 500 feet, so we have to figure out a new name for it. But it has the tallest drop on a roller coaster at 490 feet, I think, something like that. So it's insane. Like, you look at it and you're looking at King of King or Lord of Lords, which is taller than Top Thrill Dragster. Top Thrill Dragster is like right here. So this is taller than Top Thrill Dragster, right? And you're just looking at this thing, and you're like, oh, what could be more massive than that? 500-foot coaster. You know what I mean? So this thing launches you really, really fast. I don't remember how fast, but I wanted to kind of match the whole. I love launching out of tunnels. I don't know what it is about launching out of tunnels. Manta at SeaWorld San Diego does that. Blue Fire does that. You know, Takashiba does that. I just love it. I don't know what it is about it. So I did it for Bible Rush because it's the fastest launching coaster, and I have a whole theme for that. I will explain that when we get there. This one's just kind of, you know, you go, and I had to make this my own, but I didn't color it so it was in a tunnel, so to speak. It's just didn't, you know, like look at the difference in dark, light, you know. Anyways. So you kind of come in here. You wouldn't see this. This is all black. There would be a door here that would open and close. So it's pitch black in here. Like it's literally just pitch black, except for the light at the end of the tunnel. Which there would be no doors there because I don't want it to. Because since it's partway down the launch, I don't want it to interfere with anything. I don't want it to accidentally not open and bad news, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of. Leave it at that, but you get the idea. You come in here, you stop on the cable, which actually kind of worked this time. It's not like Faith at Joy Park East where it kind of goes forward and then launches. I'm not too good at those, but I put this board here. I don't know why. I think that was to keep light out. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this thing. But you get the idea, and then you launch down super duper duper fast, and it's really cool how you come out of there. I'm trying to remember how fast you go. Let's find it here. Not Scenery 6, which I don't even know what that is. Let's see what this is. 124 miles per hour. 124, which is actually, you know, not much faster than Kingda Ka, right? Hello, dashboard. Kingda Ka speed 128. So it's actually. Now, how does that work? How is Kingda Ka 128 miles per hour? How is this less, but it goes higher? I don't know. That makes me feel like No Limits is not perfect in its engine. I don't know if that's because I'm not using Pro or whatever, but yeah. So you launch and you just immediately, just like any other Strata coaster, go up, and then you just take this. This is kind of like Red Force, where it's a really gentle turn. What I don't like about Red Force is that the turn, when you go up, goes over the crest. Like the turn on Red Force would end like here. So you start cresting, and it's not even done turning. I don't know. I never liked that. That would bother me, because I like that about Top Thrill Dragster, how it's a quick, just, whoosh, you know, from right to left. You just go, you know, nice and fast. And I think that makes it exciting for being such a short ride. When you make it gentle, it's kind of lagging along, and I don't know. I just feel like that's not as entertaining. This one, you just have all this space, so you kind of just get the whole, holy cow, you know, you're at 200 feet here, and you're still just going up and up forever and ever. It's like, holy moly. And then I was like, well, you got to do something special going down, because you can't just do a 360. I have all this space, right? What can I do? And I could put trim brakes like Kingda Ka here, make this more exciting, and make this turn lower. It's kind of up to, I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you want it to be a lower turn and more down than just turning? Because right now it's kind of like Kingda Ka and Top Thrill Dragster in the way that it spirals down. Except for, in order to make it special, if you notice, it goes out. So it turns right first, and then it goes back and around. So you kind of get this moment of, oh crap, we're like flying off the tracks or something. I don't know. But then I had to try to keep it smooth, so it's got a nice speed on the spiral. It's really good. But I could slow it down here so that I could extend the point at which it stops spiraling to the point where the drop kind of starts curling in. I try to keep it as much of a drop as possible because people like Coaster Studios, they like to have the more straight down drop. They don't really like the spiral. That's why I try to make it interesting but not so, you know, expensive or boring. I don't know. And then you just come down, and then you do a little red force again with the brakes. I haven't slanted up because I didn't know that red force didn't have him slanted up, so I could actually change this, bring this back down, slow them down so that because it actually does go really fast over that hill, and give this thing, since red force's hill, the brakes on the hill start about here, so you don't really get all the airtime, and it's really short. I could lower this, no, not lower the speed, lower the brake forces so that you have more speed. That way you kind of get more airtime and faster over this hill. So it does stop pretty fast here. But yeah, I kind of try to do a little red force because it's already really expensive making this. I didn't really want to make anything too extravagant. And I'm trying to go with the more modern style that the Intamin's starting to do, which I feel like is this. Not like stealth where it's this quick little just thing afterwards. I don't like stealth. I don't like those kind of coasters. I really don't. I think if you're gonna do a coaster like stealth or accelerator I grew up on too, but you gotta go accelerator where it's got the banks and stuff. Like, dude, that's like a no-brainer. Makes it way better than stealth. Stealth is compared to accelerator, in my opinion, which apparently is everything nowadays. But anyways. Then you break down here, then you have this weird setup with how the things work. I don't really know why I did that. They're not even like connected to the supports. It's still just floating there. But you get the idea. What I did want to do was like, I don't know if I did it like on King of Kings. King of Kings I did. The back part of the ride is like Millennium Force in remembrance of the first Giga Coaster. So since it's, you know, moving Millennium Force up 100 feet, I did the whole memory thing. I did the same with this one in memory of the first Strata Coaster, where the front part of the ride is the square box track, just like Kingda Ka and Top Thrill Dragster, but then it moves into the modern style double spine, which is, if you look at Red Force, it's weird because it has a single spine all the way up until like this tiny little section, and then it's back to single spine. It's weird. I don't understand why they did that. I mean, I figure it's because of the forces the car is pushing onto the supports. I figure. But that's kind of weird. You just have it as this little itty bitty section in the middle of the crest. So I don't know. That's something to really kind of look into, because that'd be kind of cool. If anybody knows, be sure to let me know. That'd be really cool to know. Why did they do that? Why do they do what they do? Yep. So that's that one. Oh man, Wrath is a good one. We'll go into Deliverance. Deliverance is our first Mack coaster. I'm trying to remember if I made this. No, I made this after Genesis. So Genesis was the first Mack coaster introduced into the Joy parks. Anyways, double station because I don't do dual stations and I need to because they're fun. And very good way of getting people in and out quickly. Kind of goes down, it has a nice little just mini block section here, and then we launch. I try to make this a family ride. So you have just, you know, your average twists and turns and your hills. And I do really like this. And then this wave turn is kind of cool because I just made it, and I was gonna make it like this, where it's this single angle on the roll, all the way around, kind of like a wave turn. I didn't have to. The two vertices, like here and here, are the exact same without even me doing it on purpose. It was like, oh, okay, thank you. I do. That was really cool. Stuff like that when you're making them and it just comes out so perfectly. I feel like it's just, I don't know. I feel like God's working in that. Is what I feel like. That's so cool. But then you come down and then you have the little break section, which I'm not sure this would be a block break. It probably will be, just because. And then you go down and have a second launch. And this one I was just trying to make into like a fun thing, and it's got this weird, this really weird hill, but you're really turning, so I feel like that's really fun. And then it kind of goes around, has an airtime, and then it just ends, which I feel like is a little short, but the ride itself is actually not short because the first half is long. The second half I didn't want to make as long, I just kind of wanted to make it more exciting, and so I think it's fine as it is. People will probably be like, oh, the second half is too short, blah blah blah. It's what they do in real life. I'm just trying to match real life as much as best as possible. But here's Wrath. Wrath. I love Wrath. So before it was Purple Cloth or Purple Dye or whatever. I don't know. I had like so many weird names for it. I didn't like it. It was supposed to be like an Intamin B&M crossover. Nah, didn't turn out that well. So I tried to make it more B&M style, and I think it just came out fantastic. So you have the supports that go through the big box beam. It goes out, has like a little block section, and then goes up the lift hill. And then yeah, it's nice and open, just like Fury. It's 315 feet, something like that. You can see I have the whole box thing down and everything. Good size drop. I don't remember the angle on this thing. Let's see if I can figure that out. Sorry for all the lines. I've been working with scenery. I should probably change it. That looks like 80, I would say. Something like that. You see this Persecution's straight 90. But I love how the drop is bigger than the height. It goes into the ground. Like into the ground. I think that's so cool. And then I made the stuff, and I just love it. I love how it looks, the blue with the red, and I love the way that they're curved, because I was trying to figure out, I was going to just make it a round top or a square top, and I ended up putting the curve because I liked it. I love it. Came out so well. And this is actually just like coaster tunnel, just lowered and stuff to make it look like concrete crevice. It's so good. I love it. And then it goes through the, what is this, like a barrel turn? That's what they called it. So it's a barrel turn. I don't know how well it turned out. I do get airtime on it, but I don't know if it's like exactly how they designed it. It's hard to tell. And then you kind of come down, has some G-forces, and you go straight into this open air. This is just this big, massive turn section. Like, that's what's cool, is you come out of the drop, have a massive section of just turns, like these big wide turns with a lot of G-force and a lot of air time, and you just go over this hill and then boom, twisty turny, low to the ground. Good stuff. This turn is the big wave turn on Fury is what, 91 degrees or whatever they said. This I beat by a lot. It's 101. It's just the way the G-forces actually came out, and I was like, well, alright. So there's just tons of hang time here. Tons of it. You're angled in really far. And then you come out and you go through this really low overturn and then back under these things. And I think that's just so cool. It came out so well. And then you have the hill, which has a lot of air time. And then you have the twisty turny section over the people. So you can stand here and watch the coaster go up and down, and then it goes flying overhead. I think that's so cool when that happens. When you just stand on the coaster and it just flies overhead. It's booking it. So as you're walking up to rides, standing in line, or just walking around in the other rides and into buildings, you can just sit here and watch the ride. And then it interacts with Tabernacle. It turns more, it goes underneath, and then more twisty turnies, another airtime hill. And then here's the hard part that I I'm gonna change is that this part I put trim brakes because the hill was pretty steep, and I think that's because it just doesn't need to go that low. Because it's either put the trim brake there or put the trim brake on the hill. I don't want it on the hill, so I have to put it here. I don't want trim brakes at all because it's you know what I mean? Doesn't really fit in. So I'm gonna see if I can bring this up. I can't bring this up or down. This has to stay here. So it's actually how the way the turn is. It's a mirror directly down the center. It's an exact mirror from here to here. Hello, kitty. Cat's on my desk. Hi. What you doing? Hello. She's so fluffy. If you guys want to see my cat, go ahead and check out my other channel. Let me know on my gaming channel, because I would do it on my gaming channel. But I can see if I can raise this so that this end part is smoother. Because if I raise it, heck yeah, it's gonna be a lot smoother at all. I won't need this, because as this goes up, this crest here becomes gentler, not as steep. You know what I mean? So then it would smooth that out. You still get airtime on it, because airtime is fun. But it would just be smoother and better, all in all. And then you have the brake section, which this is one thing I don't like about No Limits is you can't I think you can in professional, I don't know, but the fact that it has to have these two magnetic sections here annoys me. I only want one because that's what it's like in real life, but nope, you have to have two. And then so this is not a block section. This is not a block section. So there's only 3 block sections. I mean, you have the lift hill, but I never count the lift hill as a block section. So you have this one, the station, and this one. So you can run a maximum of 2 trains on the track at once. I think that's the limit, which is the same as like Intimidator. But because this ride's a little bit longer, I'm not sure you can fit 3 or not. Like, you have one sitting in the station, one sitting here. No, it would only be 2, because if you had one sitting here and one in the station, you had these people in this front one would have to wait for the people in the station, so that they would move together. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. Oh, actually, that may work, because as this one starts going up the hill and this one moves forward, this one moves in. So now this one's waiting for this one to crest the hill. So then you have one cresting, one waiting, and one unloading and loading. So as that flies through, yeah, that would work. 3, you can have a max of 3. Yeah, that would work. So then as this one flies over here and lands in this section, and as soon as it hits this block section, these 2 move forward. So this starts going up the hill, and then this one moves forward, and this one moves into the station. Yeah, you could fit 3 on here. Cool. So you can fit 3 trains on here. Hey, I didn't know that. I was still expecting it to be 2 and have a low carrying capacity, but now it's 3, and that's great. Sweet. Good stuff. Alright, well, it's still good? Still good. Alright, well, let's go into Tabernacle. I'm going to see if I can get back around to Bible Rush. Well, not Bible Rush, I'll end at the Vine. So Tabernacle. Yeah, this ride's fun. I did adjust it a little bit so you don't have... So I don't have the station because the station interacted with this and it didn't work, so you have to custom make the station. Some station flyby because those are cool. And then it goes out, you have the little storage track. Here you have this cool just little beginning section, which is really fun. And then here's the thing, this ride is really tall. If I remember, it's like 180. 180, let's see here. I don't remember. 157, 160. So it's about the height of the Voyage at Holiday World, right? Except I try to do the first ever holding brake on a wooden coaster instead of a dive coaster. I feel like there's a nice brake there, which they have on some of the older coasters like Beast and stuff. just the older coasters that kind of don't need to go as fast, I guess. So it's a holding brake, and you kind of just sit there, and then it releases you down this really steep drop of like 75 degrees straight into a turn, which is not smooth, by the way. This turn, it would need to be smoother. It's pretty fast, so I would need to fix that. Which I can right now, actually. This is something really easy I could do. You know, I'll fix Wrath too. I'll just do that real fast and see where is. It's not called Tabernacle. It's called Hairpin. No. I named them really weird stuff to begin with, and then I changed it. It's spoken. It's a NCS song. So this. We're going to do that, and we're going to bring this down like that. So it's a bit smoother of a transition. So the supports aren't going to match up. That's because I don't want to redo all the other supports, because there's a lot of deleting, which I'll show you here in a second. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. There we go. So now it's a lot smoother. You can tell that's not as jerky, and so you just kind of get pushed into this corner like a good old like Intamin Giga coaster. You get pulled into here, and then you have this cool just straight part up and down, still angled, and then back into this turn. I try to keep it fast and twisty turny, and then it goes up this big old hill, and then you go down, and it's just this long ride. It's just so long. And you have this really cool track here that kind of goes back and forth between what you want to do, and then it dives down, and then it dives over, and then it goes over, and it has a hill, and it just and then it goes over the station. And then it goes under this, like what? And then it pops out, and then it goes into another hill. Like, I love this thing. It's just so long. I tried, because like wooden coasters are long. I try to keep it long, and then I was trying to figure out, you know, how am I gonna get it back to the station? There's all this track here. Figured I have enough speed. Let's do this really weird hill, dive into this tunnel, which is where some of the supports kind of get iffy, because some of the footers were popping through, so you'd have to fix that, because it's not all the way underground. And then it came back out over all of that, which there's a lot of head chopper elements here. Like here I had to adjust this part, I had to adjust this so it was lower so that this thing didn't kill you, and then I had to adjust this so that that thing didn't kill you. It comes up nice and banked. It's like a good 85-degree bank there. Bank, underneath, and then over, and then into the brake section, into the station. This thing just goes on forever, and I love it. That's a good ride right there. Honestly, I think that would be one of the best rides. That's just what I'm thinking. I think it would just be an excellent ride, just because of how long and fast and twisty-turny and stuff. I just feel like that'd be excellent. Let's see here. See if I can't fix this while I'm at it. Just do a little coaster maintenance here. I think that's good. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't, you know, go too high, and then you raise this, and so this really has a chance to smooth out a lot. Like it has, like I'll depump it and see, but it should be all right. And if not, I can really. This is how I've always done it. If you watched my live stream of how I made Rendavan, I used tunnels to figure out arms, so that people don't get their arms chopped off. Which was, what's funny is that Tabernacle had that on all those head chop elements I was talking about. It was really bad. I mean, those things were coming in at not even like, you know, hands up level. It was coming in at head level. Ooh, that got really dark. See, so I have plenty of space to make that even higher, which is great. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's right. So I'm gonna just raise it like that. So because of that, I can make this really smooth, because the G-forces it's not going to stay like that when you depump it, and I'll have to change stuff. But here we go. That should be good. That should be here. Let me just double check it. It should be good. It should be close. It'll be like a hand chopper element. It's not really a head chopper because you can still put your hands up. I hate not being able to put your hands up. I hate that fear of just, because I'm a tall guy, dude. Me putting my hands up on a coaster, that's dangerous stuff. Yeah, perfect. So see how you don't see that other tunnel coming through? I mean, it's touching, but it's not coming through. That's just because of the way that the track work is, or the way that they make their tunnels. It's perfect. Now, granted, I'm probably forgetting the fact that it's gonna want to change after I do this. That's okay. Let's hope this turned out well. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's see here. Oh, nice and smooth. There's some G-force there, and there's not nearly as much G-force. You do get airtime, but it's not nearly as I don't need no brakes anymore. So, and then I can change this, which is gonna suck. I just realized, because all these are non-custom except for this one, which is now a wee bit off. We're gonna depump. Not depump. What am I talking about? We're gonna freeze it. It looks really good. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Just nice and smooth. Still gets you just a moment of down G-force. What you doing, Fuzz? What you doing? Everybody say hi to my cat. She's hanging out behind me. Yeah, that looks good. Nobody's gonna really notice when I'm doing stuff. I mean, the most I can do is move that back, which I can do. Just like that. There you go. Perfect. Fits right in there. It's great because the coaster, this coaster, then you kind of wrap around this support, which actually is completely safe. It doesn't look like it, but it is. But look at this. This good solid G-forces going in, and then you have just a moment of solid G-forces coming out. I mean, there's a bit. I think that's cause on the top view here. Again, sorry for all the lines. I've been working on another coaster. Does it angle back? I hate. This is something I do. Yeah, it does. That's why. There we go. That should be good. That should get rid of all the. Because the way that No Limits does their turns, which is why I do that, is that it wants to have like a small S going back, and it's like, no, I don't. Look, it's a little We're gonna go like that. See, yeah, just a little bit of left and right just to make it smooth though. But look, like nice solid, just end time. You just have that quick little, you know, it just goes. You're just in your seat and then out of your seat for just that quick little ending, just to kind of give you that little punch at the end, which is always great. Perfect. Let's write it. Just make sure it's all good. See, stuff like that I've been thinking of messing around with. This one, Fall of Babel, that's gonna be a longer project. I have to do all the supports. You know, that takes a while. I don't think I'm gonna change the track because you guys get that only that one turn is like it can be there. It doesn't have to be. Faith I'll do in another video. Look at that, so much nicer. No more trim break. Really, you know, you have this moment of you're really in your seat next to this, really right underneath itself, and then just let's write it. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Sorry that's gonna be really laggy because it's looking at the rest of the whoops. It's gonna be looking at the whole park when it comes around that corner. So I'll run it a quarter speed or something. I don't know. Stop. There we go. Thank you. So we're just gonna speed this lift hill. I'm sorry, it's gonna be really laggy. I know. Not much I can do about it. I mean, I have what 17 coasters in a park trying to live stream. You know, I'd say that this is pretty good for having 17 coasters in a park. It's probably a lot laggier on YouTube than it is on my computer. On my computer, I'm getting about right now I'm getting about 60 frames. When I look at the rest of the coasters here, I get about 10 to 15, which is like, whoa. For as much as I have in the park, that's actually like really good. My old computer could barely run a coaster in general at 30 frames. So this computer is fantastic. I have no qualms with this computer at all, really. Alright, here we go. We're coming up on the turn. There we go. It goes up. And then it just goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh man. It's perfect. I like that much better. I keep doing that. I'm so sorry. Alright, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like off view. And then we're going to move on. But, oh man. Wow, that turned out so good. So there goes the coasters. Come on. Here it comes. Whee! Thing's just cooking. Alright, here we go. Check this out. Look how much better this is. Just comes up and then goes. Oh, and then of course the computer lags right there. But, it's good. It just goes perfect, just whoosh. Wow, that's really good. That would be a lot of fun to ride, is just what I'm thinking. Like, you imagine yourself in that situation. And it's just like, yep. I mean, I would say that this is now too gentle, but it's not. You've got a good -1 G of airtime. That's pretty good. Like, see, I'm gonna run it at 4x simulation. See if this thing can go fast. Go, baby, go. Let's go, Inferno. Bye. Whoosh. So when I look down the park like this, I get a solid 10 to 15 frames. Right now, it's really bad because I have it on 4x. But we're gonna watch this thing from this view, because we're gonna watch it. I'm gonna try and see if it doesn't. Hope that it doesn't lag. And alright, Watch this thing. Just goes perfect. Ah, so good. So good. Alright, we're gonna move on real fast. We'll try to get to the vine before I end this thing, because I gotta go places. But what is this? Destruction, that's right. This thing's insane. It's tall. It's like 200 feet tall. Right? It's my version of Volcano. So it starts off in a hill, and you kind of sit there, and then you launch forward. You know, you watch the POV, you launch forward, and then you launch up the hill, and then you do the cool turn thing that Volcano does. But instead of going completely down and around, it keeps itself in this nice little nook, which was very fun to support. I literally just mashed the button with all these suspended swinging supports. But I just come out, and you have this really long hang time here. All these barrel rolls have so much air time in reference to Volcano, because Volcano, if you've ridden it, has very long barrel rolls like that, or inline twists. I'd say they're barrel rolls, but I guess they're inline. And it's just, there's just so much hang time on those things, man. It's great. I love it. And actually, this should have a cross support like that. It doesn't. That's okay. That's okay. Supports are probably not what they would be, because this looks hectic as all can be. But yeah, and then I was like, well, one thing Volcano doesn't do is have this really cool drop. So I just made this massive drop all the way down, really, to the bottom of the hill. Like, look at this thing. That's a huge drop. Huge. That's like a good 150-foot drop or whatever. I don't really know specifics. But and then you go up and you go back around, and you can do another twist, and then you go down, and here's your first inversion. You go in, which I thought was really cool, the way it kind of starts outside it kind of moves left. It's kind of like Flashback. If you remember Flashback at Six Mountain, and then it goes through a loop, which again hasn't been done. So now you have a loop on this ride, and you come out, go through this again, which are actually, these turns are really intense, by the way. Like, it's cooking through this thing. I made this ride on the original No Limits when I had it, and it was one of my best rides that I made on that program, because it was so hard to make rides on that program. It's much easier here, but it was not nearly like this. Like this Helix wasn't there. A lot of the stuff was a lot gentler. It wasn't as fast, and I think it just had to do with whatever I decided to do with this thing. I don't really know what happened, but I love this much better. It's just booking it, and it's just pulling you lots of G-forces, lots of airtime, and just upside down. And then it pulls you down. Whoops, what am I doing? It goes up around this turn, and this was supposed to be like a corkscrew, but it didn't end up being a corkscrew. The way, it's an actual inline twist, because the difference between a barrel roll, inline twist, barrel roll, the track rotates around the rider's head. So like if you look down this thing, the track kind of goes around a circle like this. Same with this guy. That's a barrel roll, especially on an inverted coaster. It looks kind of weird. Inline twist twists around the center of the track, which is what this does. So not only does it have a barrel roll and a loop, it has an inline twist. So this is an inline twist, and it goes around. It's kind of a headbanger. I'm not entirely sure. I like it. I don't know what it is about him, but it looks cool. And then it goes over the two tracks and goes right instead of left, dives down, which is, when I was making this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I love this layout. It's compact, it's interesting, it's fun. And you come outside of all the other tracks. Now, dive down near the station, which when you're standing here, like in a line like this, right, like that, you're going to see it come flying down. This would have like a big mountain around it or something. Kind of like Volcano. Like, it would be more like a temple, and the temple's, falling down, get it? Destruction. Same with like Fall of Babel. but this is actually like inside the temple, and there's just pillars and stuff falling over and whatnot. I think that'd be really, really cool. So it flies outside the temple here, and then it dips down. It has another inline twist here. Now this is really cool. These inline twists are flying through these supports. I thought this was cool when it went through the loop like this, but it was hard to figure out where to put the support, because if you look, it's right next to this thing. So no, you can't. If you reach out, if you lean over, you can touch it. So that's why they say don't put your arms out to the side, just keep them up. If you keep them vertical, you're fine. If you put them on to the side, you're probably going to hurt yourself. Which is why they tell you keep all arms and hands inside the vehicle at all times. You know what I mean? Don't ever put your hands sideways. Like, don't ever do, like, you'll know when to and when not to if you want to do it, but things like this you can't really tell, so don't. Plus there's be scenery to kind of keep you from doing that anyways. But an inline twist through this, through all the supports, through the loop, and then this is the part where I was like, I have enough speed, I can do a helix. This helix is insane. I didn't realize how much speed I had left going through this thing. Like, I should have realized, because I mean you're starting from up here and now you're down here through not very much track. I should have realized this, but I didn't when I was making it. I just had a lot of speed coming in through here. So as it dips down, right about this is kind of like, it's kind of like a sideways loop helix thing, which is really different and cool. I think it's awesome. But right here, you're hitting 5 Gs, which is what Intimidator 305 hit, and hits. I think it still hits it. I'm not. When they redid the track, I think they lessened it to like 4.8 or something. You hit 5 Gs for just a split second. Just like you can see where the track really kind of curves in right here. Right here. Just hits 5 Gs right here. So you're really into your seat. If you thought the rest of it was intense, just wait till this end helix just knocks you out. Which can be, the way the supports are and whatnot, it can be extended and stretched to not be so intense. But these coasters are kind of intense anyway, so I figured ending it on just a bang. And then it goes through all these supports. You're just dodging all these supports with your feet. And it goes back up, which is cool because you don't see that on helixes. It goes up, and it goes down and around, and then slows down into the brakes, back into this tunnel, which is supposed to be like a little tunnel thing. So this would be like hardcore tunnel inside building something. All of this, everything that you see with a tunnel. The rest of it would be a temple. So I think like underneath the temple, like this, where this platform is, would be the temple, and you'd be flying in and out of it. And the temple would just be collapsing. But because the temple is just a couple pillars and stuff, it's more open air, which is why the coaster does not have a tunnel. Yeah, so this ride's really intense and just a lot of fun. It's really intense though. Like, it's one of the most intense coasters I've made, if not the most intense coaster I've made. It's smooth though. It may be intense, but it's smooth. It's like Intimidator. It's intense, but it's smooth. It's a lot of fun. So if you're looking for like Coaster Studios, you know, Taylor, you're looking for something intense, bruh, here you go. This is definitely your ride. All these turns, like here, let me show you. I don't know why I didn't do this. Let me see this destruction. And then G-force. Check this out. Look at that. See? You're just nicking 5 Gs here. Look at all that orange. Oh yeah, baby. You got a lot of orange. You see this when you're pulling through this turns, you're hitting like 2 Gs through that one. You're hitting like 3 Gs here. You know, it's just like everything on this ride is just nutso. But you can kind of tell that some of it's like, if you're looking at like how smooth, you can see there's like some random points. This was one of my earlier coasters before I really got to like this stuff and really just spent time smoothing things out over and over and over again. Like you can see it's orange, it's yellow, orange, a little yellow, and then red. Stuff like that would be smoothed out and not so But you look at this end helix and it's just so intense. You look at this turn, it's so intense. You look at down here, it's so intense. These turns, you're just pulling through these things. This thing's good stuff, man. Good stuff. I really like it. I would love to ride all of these coasters. I love each and every one of them for different reasons, but I do. I love them. And now the final coaster of this coaster discussions. One of my all-time favorites, the Vine. This was my first. That's not true. This was the first coaster that I made where it had this really cool triple track after a launch turn thing, whatchamabob. This one was my second one, and this one's by far my best one that I made. The other Vine at Joy Park East is great, but I think this one's just spectacular. So you start off, it's kind of like I want to say Cheetah Hunt, but Rendezvous is more Cheetah Hunt than this one. This one you kind of just start out, you kind of go through this little dinky section, and then I haven't put the details into the LIMs. It'd just be the LIMs that you see on every other Intamin, like Cheetah Hunt and Maverick and whatnot. But you have it, and then so then you do this little launch, go up this hill, kind of sit there, and then you dive down to this tunnel, and then you launch really, really fast and out into this thing that I thought of one day, and I was like, yes. I mean, look at this thing. Especially when you like enter the park, you see that. And it's like, what is that? So you launch out, have this slight left turn, and then you just bank over. This is like 110 degrees or 115 or whatever. You're just up here, no support, just over the whole ride. The tallest point by far on the ride. I mean, nothing comes even close to this thing. I kind of like that. I like having like a really high point and the rest of it kind of just a little bit, high. A little high in some parts, but mostly twisty-turny. I just love how twisty-turny this thing is. But you're just looking, when you're up here and you're sideways, you're just looking down. You're like, oh, and then you just really, really quickly, and I could do this because the car was going slow. Just really flips you over, dives down here. Watch out! There's some head choppers here, dude. Like these supports, I couldn't really squeeze that in. I couldn't adjust this. You probably could pull this out a little bit, but it's got some head chop elements. So you get down here, this thing's, I don't remember how intense this is. I remember this thing being pretty intense. Let me see if I can find it. It's called Serpent. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Again, I just named stuff really weird. But like, let's see what the G-force is. Oh yeah, good old 4.5 or something G's here. You're cooking through these turns. I try to make it really intense. But like, you got this airtime hill that's just got airtime for days. You got this thing which you're hanging out of your seat. It's not like ejector, but you're hanging out of your seat, dude. And then you got this turn here that's pretty good. You got stuff like this where it's like, look at that. You have airtime on this transition. That's amazing. You have airtime on that. That's pretty cool. But let's go back. I don't like having all the lines everywhere. It makes it laggy, especially the G-force and speed cones, especially G-force cones. It makes making the coaster really laggy anytime. But so you go through here and you go under these supports, more head choppers. It's all nice and nicely tightly knit. That's what I'm looking for. Nice and tightly knit with all the storage and everything. Like I even have the storage set out. A lot of coasters you see I don't have storage set out. It's because I didn't really do that for whatever reason. I don't really know. But custom supports, you come under here, have this nice airtime hill underneath this thing. It's just figure 8 around here. More intense turn. Come up, have some airtime here. Kind of float over this for a minute. And then go right back into this turn, nice and intense. Dips down a little bit, and then this really cool crossover turn with some good airtime on this thing, man. I didn't know that. I didn't realize how much airtime was on that. That's some good airtime there. I just love this ride. And then it banks over again and dips down next to this station, and then it goes up, and then it has another one of these back to back. Like, look how cool that looks. Ah. That's so cool. Right next to this support, another hand chopper right there. And it goes back down, a nice and intense turn. It dips down underneath all of this, up and around, and then final left turn into the brake section like Intimidator 305. Man, this thing rocks. I love it so much. Oops. I unfroze the wrong customer. Wah, wah, wah. You know, I just realized, I was like, man, my throat's getting thirsty from me talking for so long. I was like, man, I really wish I had some water. I literally had a water bottle with water sitting right next to me the whole time. I didn't even think of it. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, that tastes so good. Let's just do round concrete again. But you can see when I click it, it's the whole track. There is no trims, there's nothing. And I love that. I love coasters that do that, where there's nothing. It's just, you're just booking. They put as much as they can into these rides. You can see, like, there's no, you're close. You're awfully close here, but you're not touching it. So things like right here, you kind of have this guy sticking in here, and that's about it. I really try to keep it down to a minimum. This guy's kind of low. Could probably raise that. But yeah, I don't know. The tunnels are really dark in this thing. I bet you that was part of the update. But let's ride it. I'm just really excited for this thing. Like, look at it. It's just so cool. Let's ride it. And then I'll do the other half of the park, the next coaster discussions, and I'll move on to Troy Park East. Look at this thing. This is great because I also put it right at the very entrance of the park, which the whole point of this one being there is because you have this really cool dip, and I'll explain that in the next episode. That's got some story behind it. But like, you walk up, and this is just, you're just standing here, and you just have this thing. Like, how cool is that? All right, I'm super excited. Let's just ride it. You know what? Let's put it in the ride view. Let's go. Like, oh, this thing is great. I did put a lot of work into these coasters. These coasters I did put a lot of work into. I really like. I like all of them, but for some reason, some of them I just feel like I put more time and effort into them than other ones. Like that launch section's kind of eh. But then you go down here and it just shoots you out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See how you just lean and then you're just right next to all these supports, right into this thing. Yeah, that's a little short. Wow, nice and tight into that turn. And more G-force. Oh, more hand choppers and oh wow, airtime, man. Sick airtime on that thing. And then just nice little mini version of the first sail. And then I was like, I need to bring it back to the station now. I just put some of these left-hand turns, kind of one after another left-hand turns. So the thing behind that is also, you have a really far banked right turn, a really far banked right turn, and another really far banked right turn. There's not a whole lot of left-hand turns, so the fact that I ended it with technically 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of evened it out. Yes, they're all at the end, but I mean, could you imagine me trying to fit left turns into this thing? It would not work. There'd be no way. So I think it's fantastic. I think it's really great. This support is really low. I'm gonna go ahead and get in here and and fix that for you guys, because this thing is not good. Like, woo. Let's just get rid of. Oops, that's the wrong button. Let's just do that. Let's just grab these, page up until it reaches that, and then should be good. I have to bring it back now, which is okay. It's just not gonna line up with the round tube that's there. So I gotta make it line up with the round tube here, there. That. Perfect. Just like that. Just like that. So now when I freeze it, it's gonna be much higher. It's not gonna be. It's still gonna be a hand chopper just because that's how it's gonna be. But yeah, look at that. Not nearly as bad. Yes, these supports aren't rotated correctly. Yeah, I understand that. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do that. Raise it just a bit more, because this is fine. I just want the bottom of this box to be there. There we go. Look at that. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna unfreeze it again. We're just gonna triple check this thing, because we want it to be perfect. This ride is awesome. I love it. I want to ride it so bad. I want to ride these coasters, man. It would be so expensive trying to make this thing. Oh yeah, look at that. Much better. It's not even in there. Not even in there. Look what we can accomplish. And then here's another little hand chopper there. So there's some points where it's like, they'll fix it. We'll figure out a way. So anyways, it'd be really cool if we could somehow get these parks out there. I would like them in the United States. I didn't. If you've been watching, who's that? Theme Park Crazy, his live streams that he does with people, so you can go in and ask him questions, which I highly enjoy, and I do want to do that at some point. But I like. This is expensive. I mean, you're looking at this thing and these big coasters, these big projects, and you're like, there's no way. Yeah. Basically, it wouldn't be built in the United States, probably just because of the extent of what it is. It's a new theme park, and there's 2 of them. And I want 2 of them in the United States. I want one east and one west. Like, what? I think there is a chance, though, because of what the theme park is and what the coasters include. I think it is possible. I think it's not going to happen for quite a while, which means that these coasters are going to change. The records are going to be broken, and it's not going to be as special of a park, and that's kind of saddening to hear. But that's how stuff happens, you know. You kind of have a dream, and then your dreams kind of reaches reality, and it changes. A lot of times not for the better, which is unfortunate. But, you know, it's something that I still look forward to hopefully seeing these coasters. Maybe not in a park specific, like in all of these coasters in this park like this. I was thinking it'd be really cool if they built them individually in multiple parks, and then when they were all built, they would just not tear them down, but take them down and then move them into one place. You know, once we had the money to build them individually, because I don't think there's any way you could build all of them all at once. You know, within like 5 years. I think it would be like a 10 to 15 year project just to get, you know, a good chunk of them. Not even all of them. I think it'd be like 25 years before you got all of these coasters, even just like in one park, just because of how much they cost and whatnot. So after 25 years, after building them individually, you put them all in one park, and then you have the park. You know what I mean? I think that would be a more effective way of doing it than just trying to save up money and then building them all at once. I think it would be much more effective, because then you can kind of adjust them as you go along. What do people like? What do the people not like? Kind of deal. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, it would be really cool if we all, you know, kind of work to get this to exist in the United States in the near future. That would be spectacular. Also, the other thing, if you look at, there's no supports. There's no supporting supports, which I don't know if I should add supporting supports here. You know, it's like, I don't really feel like it needs it. It probably does. It looks cool like it is, though. It's like, whoa, you don't see that every day, except on Intamin Woodies, which it's an Intamin Woody. If I remember correctly, this would be made by either Intamin or Gravity Group. I think it's Intamin though, just like the Arc. Enjoy Parkies. Anyways, that is today's coaster discussion episode. Episode 2. Episode 3, I'll try to discuss the rest of these coasters here. I'll try to split Joy Park East into 3 parts as well, just so I can kind of discuss the coasters and what stuff like that. But I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible so that I kind of get my point across, and I do get to explain why I did what I did and stuff. Because I do want to do that. I do like going in depth on my coasters and just talking about them. But, it's like, they're not real, so what's the point? So, in order to keep the interest up, I will be moving on from these parks into just any coaster, top 10s, anything. You guys tell me in the comments, what do you want to see when. Did I discuss these, right? Like this coaster going in here and stuff like that's so cool to me. Just don't see that. Yeah, so tell me what you guys want in terms of like, do you want to see top 10s? I don't know. Do you want to see top 10s, or do you want me to just discuss top 10s? I feel like I would just live stream me discussing the top 10s, and then we can kind of discuss why it's my top 10. Like, I just feel like live streaming from now on every channel because it's so much fun. I enjoy it. It's easy, which is the main reason. Just saying. But it is enjoyable to me. Yeah. Just when I get there, when I'm done talking about my parks, let me know what you guys want to hear. Because I've been kind of just doing whatever I feel like doing, just kind of going through these parks over and over and over again. That's because I love these parks. I love the coasters in these parks. This is what I've spent my time in No Limits 2 doing, are just these parks. Which is like, well, it doesn't really show. Well, that's not true, because look how many coasters are in this park. I haven't done the scenery because heck with scenery, dude. Like, yeah, that's great. I don't know anything about where buildings and stuff are gonna go. That's really complicated. I'm just trying to get the coasters down. That's hard enough. Anyways, plus I have a lot of them. Like, look how many coasters I made. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is I'm gonna try and move on to more community-based content after this. So look forward to that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me in this coaster discussions. Be sure to come out for the next coaster discussions and find out what's the deal with these coasters. Like, what's the deal with this pink and yellow coaster over here that has no supports and it's got 2 hills? Like, what's this thing? Why does this thing have this? What is this? What's going on? Right? I bet you guys are interested. Well, I'll be discussing it, so make sure to join me. And yeah, I will see. I don't know when that'll be because I start work tomorrow. So I don't know when I'll be live streaming, if at all. But I will live stream certain days. I just don't know what days that would be. So subscribe and be notified when I do. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.